definitely pushed it a little too far. Watch out! Oh. Hey everyone, welcome to another adventure with MinerBiker. I am on what I believe is one of the greatest viewpoints, not only just in Utah, but anywhere. This is Powell Point. Absolutely spectacular point of peak cliff here overlooking the Grand Staircase, Escalante National Monument. You got the Paunsaugunt over there with Bryce Canyon. Absolutely stunning from up here. Love Powell Point. Way off over towards Lake Powell, and you got Navajo Mountain in the distance. This is Canyon Peak here closer. Got a bike video from 2 years ago where my wife and I biked around and on top of Canyon Peak and off into the Grand Staircase. Again, that's the Paunsaugunt over there at Bryce Canyon. Absolutely stunning. It's not the first time I've been up here with a bike. I was up here 2 years ago and I looped around Powell Point and rode the Under the Rim trail that runs down here below it, and then climbed up on top of here and then went back off the east side. That was an epic ride. Make sure to check that one out as well. Today we're doing something a little different. I'll explain more as we go. But yep, not much of a better place to get an adventure going than up here. Of course, I've already ridden 11 miles and 2,400 feet to get up here from Pine Lake. But this is where you're starting the adventure with me. Around on the west side of the point here. Looking to the northwest, the side of the plateau we're on. And far distance is the snowy Tushers. That's beautiful. This is Henderson Canyon down here below us. You know, it's very early in the season. It was a light enough winter. You get up here the second weekend of May. It's pretty good. Still a little wet. Definitely some snow. Overall, pretty good to be up at over 10,000 feet. Also been pretty good group of people rode out here on horses in this little stretch of trail from the end of the OHV trail out here to the point is majorly post-holed. They're looking to the east. That's looking over the Henry Mountains right there, and off over the Escalante River drainage off down towards Lake Powell. Absolutely magnificent. Well, those horses tore this up. It's cool to see people out horse riding, just trail riding. That's what I grew up doing, but boy, they got this in some bad conditions for it. Okay, made it through all the post holes to the end of the OHV trail that comes out here. Obviously the horses still had an impact on this, but at least it's not near as concentrated here. It's more spread out. we are very borderline on the timing to be up here this high. A lot of years you would not be up here this high yet. With the winter that especially southern Utah had, things are opening up a little sooner than usual. Figure we come give it a try. It's say borderline. Just cruising along this edge of the plateau here. It's so pretty up here with all these old bristlecone pines and stuff. Gorgeous area. Gorgeous place. Right there's the Water Canyon Trail, goes off the east side of the plateau. That's the one I went down when I was up here with the bike 2 years ago. Today we're continuing back on the Powell Point Trail here. Wash the tires off a little bit. Am I plenty wet? So much water. Long creek running down the road. There's a trail there. Here's the end of the Powell Point trail. Down to the left is the Pine Creek Road. That's what I climbed up from Pine Lake. I'm not heading down Pine Creek, at least at this point. I'm heading north on top of the plateau towards Barney Top, which is the high point of this plateau here. See if conditions will allow me to ride clear over Barney Top today and kind of loop around. We'll see if conditions work out to go that far, or if that's gonna be a little too high elevation for right now. We shall see. Oh yeah. That's a good old-fashioned grind of a climb. Cool road, love the big cliffs. Oh yeah, there's the view. Looking off over at Boulder Mountain over there, and then Henry's town of Escalante is just right down there. And on down the Escalante River. Oh wow, that's pretty. Big rocky bluffs are cool. I'm starting to think we might be a little too early to cross Barney Top. It's gonna be like this the whole way. That could get messy. I'm thinking, considering what the conditions are and how far it is to cross Barney Top, just with the slow, heavy conditions, gonna make it take too much time and too much energy, I think, right now. So I think the smart thing to do is to go drop back down to Pine Lake and do some little bit lower elevation stuff. So unfortunately, won't be crossing all the way across Barney Top today. We'll come back and do it a little later into the summer when conditions up here will be perfect. Second weekend of May at 10,500 feet. I knew I'd be pushing it even on a year with a pretty light winter, but definitely pushed it a little too far. Oh well, it'll still be fun. That was still awesome to make it all the way out to Powell Point and back, especially in those conditions. That was pretty kind of wild and always just wonderful. So we'll drop on back down to Pine Lake, down the road that we came up, and we'll be back here for some unfinished business at a later date. And especially considering just how much slower it is and how much more energy it takes riding these kind of conditions. A distance or a route that won't be too bad in really good conditions can either take too long or completely just run you into the ground. You could bonk hard out here. Obviously you want to push hard, push your limits see what you can do, but at the same time you gotta be safe and smart too. Besides, got this heck of a view. Yeah, we're gonna be a lot faster going down this road than what's coming up. Pretty cool road climbing up here on this plateau, switchbacking up through here. I gotta stop and look at this view again. This is so cool. Pretty familiar with most all this country out here. But this is just a slightly different perspective looking at it than I've ever had before. I love seeing places you know, or at least kind of know, from a perspective you've never seen them from. It's always a cool experience. Oh, it came down that fast. That's pretty up here. Hello. Long distance backpackers there. That's cool. That was the Powell Point trail right there. Now on down Pine Creek. I climbed up this morning. Most of it's pretty close to dry down at the bottom, but this upper part's got some snow and mud on it. Into the mud. Definitely not going to be clean after this one. Already not clean. Me and the bike are both filthy. Trying to keep the camera clean. Hopefully I'm being at least mostly successful. Really starting to melt now versus this morning. Now it's warmed up. There's a lot more water on the road than there was this morning. Soggy. Okay, now the road crosses to the other side of the canyon. On the south-facing side, where it catches a lot more sun and melted off sooner. Shouldn't have any more mud the rest of the way. Oh man, I am dirty. My bike is absolutely filthy. And we're having a grand time. I love it. It's a mountain bike. It's meant to get dirty. I'm a human. I can get dirty. It's all good. Yeah, we're flying. It's actually not too bad of a road to climb up. It's not too crazy steep for the vast majority of it. Unless you hit a little too early in the season, it usually is in pretty good shape. A little early this year. That's okay, I had to come try. It was still awesome. Love Powell Point. Watch out! Oh. This is the Pine Lake campground, and here it's not even open yet for the season. Yeah, we're not gonna make that turn. With both wheels on the ground. Up we go. Beautiful campground in here. Almost caught it. There's this nice little footpath over to the lake from the campground, including this cool little bridge. Kind of fun. That's looking back up Pine Creek up at the plateau up there. Boy, we sure got down here quick. And there's Pine Lake right over there. Oh, it's such a pretty lake. Well, everyone, obviously didn't quite accomplish what we were hoping to do today, but oh well, still magnificent. I love getting up on Powell Point. It's one of my very favorite places anywhere. The conditions actually going out there, other than the like one or two kind of clay spots that were pretty nasty, and then all the horse post holes. Other than that was actually pretty fun riding out there. But a little bummed not being able to cross Barney top, but those conditions were definitely not what I wanted, and we're not setting me up for success to make that all the way, so that'll have to be another time. But still awesome. Hopefully enjoyed it. We'll be back for the unfinished business up there at some other point, and since now it's only 1:30, can't just head home yet, so I'm gonna go do another ride, but that one's gonna be another separate video. Will be posted right after this one. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to check out my video from 2 years ago when I looped around Powell Point and riding Canaan Peak, and whatever else I throw in the cards in the upper right hand corner. Make sure to check them out, and other videos on the channel. Leave us a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, thank you. Hit that like button, and keep digging up new places to ride, hike, or otherwise adventure in the great outdoors on your own power is always the best.